Hi, you're with Chandeep at Goodly, and this is my personal Facebook dashboard. Now, every crap that I have written on Facebook until this date is broken down into numbers and charts, and I have put it together in a form of a dashboard. So, here is how it started. One of these days, I was just playing with Power Query, and I found a way to connect Power Query to my Facebook login and get all my Facebook data in Excel, and that was dynamic. Every time I hit a refresh, Power Query is going to go back to Facebook, get the live data or the refresh data, and load it back into Excel. So my Excel is somehow connected to Facebook through Power Query. All right, even before I take you through how the dashboard is working and what all I have made, I want to take you under the hood and I want to show you that how did I construct the dashboard, how the entire dashboard is flowing, how the Power Query is connected to Facebook, and how am I getting the data into Power Query and then putting that data into Power Pivot data model and modeling all my calculations and putting them back into Excel. And from there, how am I constructing a dashboard in Excel? So let's just jump right into Power Query. Let me just show you that how did I connect Excel Power Query to Facebook. So first things first, so go into data. If you're working with any earlier versions of Excel, you will have a Power Query tab. I'm working with Excel 2016, so I have Power Query in the data tab. So in the data tab, I'm just going to go into new query, and from online services I have from Facebook. Now I'm not going to click here because it takes just a while to open the tab which takes you to the login page of Facebook, and you put in your user ID and password, and then it connects Power Query to Facebook. So you can just do it from here, so from Facebook. And then it opens obviously the Power Query screen. I'm just going to show you that in a moment. So let me just open that first. So this is my post data. Let me just right click here and say edit, and this is going to open the Power Query screen. All right, now we have the data. Let's just take a look at the source here. So it just goes to facebook.graph, which is graph.facebook.com, and it grabs all the data from facebook.com, right, which is I think the website or the API which contains all the data for Facebook. And from there I have applied a couple of steps to clean all my data, and then from here I reached to the cleaned data, which is this, and I load that data into Power Pivot for Excel. All right, to load the data into Power Pivot, I say close and load, and I say close and load to. I think this has already been done, so it grays out here, and that data gets into Power Pivot. And I also check the option which says loaded to data model. I mean, you get that option once you say close and load to. So I click here and then the data gets into my Power Pivot. So let me just show you that quickly. Now the way to open Power Pivot is through the Power Pivot tab, and then you click on manage. I have customized the manage on my quick access toolbar, so it's just going to open up in a while. All right, so that is the data, and just two things here. This is my post data, so all the posts that I've done on my Facebook until now. We have the date, time, post, 2 or 3 calculated fields. I'm just going to discuss about that a little later. All the likes that I've got, all the comments that I've got, what are the comments, who is the commenter, and all that kind of stuff. And a couple of measures here underneath. Measures are like calculated fields. So these are like formulas in the pivot table. So I have a couple of measures here to do some calculations inside Power Pivot. And then I have created pivot tables from this, and I have put those pivot tables in my pivot table. So let me just go over to the other sheet. Now I have hidden the sheets here, and the way I'm moving on to the other sheet is by pressing Control Page down for the next sheet or Control Page up for the previous sheet. So let's just take a look here. So this is my calculation sheet. Let me just close that. And these are all the pivot tables that are actually feeding into all the charts which you see on the dashboard. So all the calculations and all the measures are right here, and that's pretty much it. Right, so using these pivot tables, and then I used the pivot charts to make charts like these. Use a lot of text boxes, dynamic text boxes, to link pivot table calculations into my text boxes and present it here. And I've also tried to keep like a Facebook kind of a look. These are nothing but slices on the top, so I can slice down my data and take a look at which year and which month, and some information about posts and comments and stuff like that. So let's just say that I changed to 2011. I will get to know that how many posts did I do. So in the entire of 2011, I did 35 posts. I got 150 comments. I got 51 likes, and out of that, 35 were unique, right? And for 2011, of all these months, these are the people who liked my posts. So these are top 10. I can change that to top 7. I can probably change that to top 15, and I'll have that changed. And some metrics about that. And people who commented on my posts, these are all the people who commented on my posts. These are again top 5. I can say top 7, and this chart is going to change. And these were the posts that got the most likes. So, and how many likes did I get on each of these posts. So again, I can pick up top 5, top 7, top 10. Now the cool part about using Power Query and Power Pivot is that I have not written any additional formulas other than making the pivot tables and a bit of macros to automate these top positions. That's about it. There's no index, no VLOOKUP, no if, nothing of that sort running in the backend. So it's just Power Query loads the data from Facebook to my Excel. From Power Query, the data goes into Power Pivot. I model that data, use some DAX formulas, bring that data in a form of a pivot table to my Excel spreadsheet, and using pivot charts, I make those charts and my dashboard is completed. Now, every time I have an additional post that I post on Facebook or I do some activity on Facebook, I get a like, I get a comment. This dashboard is completely dynamic, and this updates on its own. Well, this is my Facebook dashboard with my statistics. Well, my stats are potentially useless for anyone, but a dashboard like this has massive application for anyone who uses a lot of Facebook posts, ads, and stuff like that. I mean, here is a way to connect your Facebook data dynamically to Facebook using Power Query. You can do that. And get all that data into Excel, dynamic data which gets refreshes every minute or every hour or something like that. And you can model it the way you want. I mean, you can try and calculate anything that you want to calculate from your data, which is not a part of standard analytics of Facebook. And it is pretty much a game-changing thing for digital marketeers, because I have seen a lot of these digital marketeers, downloading files manually from Facebook and then trying to analyze those files separately one at a time. Now, apart from this, I also want to talk about some mistakes or the things that I did not like about this dashboard that I personally felt strongly about, and I want to discuss those with you. The first thing that I did not like about this dashboard is the overall layout of the dashboard. Although I was trying to make a Facebook dashboard and I tried to make it like a Facebook page, but because I had the final layout in my mind even before I created the dashboard, that created constraints about how do I position data in my dashboard, which is one of the mistakes. So I should have thought about the layout later, or generally I think about the layout later. I decide on the analytics and the calculations first. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how do you feel about that, but I do not feel this layout is pretty great, although it does pretty much match the Facebook page, but I'm not sure it looks great. So the second thing that I did not like about, or the place where I made a mistake or I could not do, was my friends data. So when I was trying to get friends data from Facebook, you have an option once you click on your Power Query tab, and then you go to the query and you say that, hey, I want to get Facebook data. It gives you the option of what do you want to take. Do you want to take friends? Do you want to take posts? Do you want to take your likes or whatever? So when I was trying to get the friends data from Facebook, I was not able to grab that. I'm not sure if I was making a mistake in something, but I was not able to get my friends data from Facebook. So that was one thing that I did not like. I would like to have done some analytics on my friends data as well. Now, Facebook has come up with a new thing where it has loves and your wows and your likes. Now, when you have the likes, let's say 51 likes, the like will not count a love, which is a heart sign that they have started new, and it will not count a wow sign. So if people are giving you a wow or a like, which is like an extra step of showing appreciation to what you have posted, then somehow this data is not capturing that. I realized that later. So that is something which is missing out in my model too. Although I've not gotten a lot of loves or wows or things like that, but I'm just saying that I did find a few places where the data discrepancy was there. Also, one of the funny things was that a lot of times when you comment on Facebook or you post your picture and somebody leaves a comment, and the comment is actually not a text, it's like a smiley or some picture, then that is not captured by the facebook.graph.com and doesn't get into your Power Pivot model. So that is something that I did not find it there. The last thing that I did not find was that while getting the data from facebook.graph.com, and when I loaded that data into Power Query, I'll just show you that in a moment. Let me just edit that. All right, while I was getting this data, now I have this person who has commented, who's the commenter and what is the comment. Every commenter or every person gets a unique ID through which it creates the unique column. Now what I did was I removed a lot of columns, for which then I had to combine multiple columns in my Power Pivot model. I'll just also show you that. Let me close that. Now because I deleted those unique columns, where is Power Pivot, and I click on manage, and I'm right here. So because I deleted the unique columns, so I had to create a combined column, combined posts, date and time, to have the uniqueness of the column, and then I ran some DAX formulas in this column because I wanted unique values. So this was one of the mistakes that I did while I was doing the Power Query thing, although I could have corrected that before I did the modeling here. But then for Power Query was taking a bit of time to get the data from Facebook over and over again, and I did not want to waste that time, so I let it go. All right, that's about the dashboard, and I want you to download the dashboard, play with it, or maybe even provide your own Facebook user ID and the password, and let's see if it customizes the dashboard to your credentials or your data or not. Well, that's about the little experiment that I have done. Let me know how do you find it by leaving in a comment. And that's all about it for now. And I'll catch up with you soon. Take care and bye-bye.